feeling good tonight. It's gonna be a big win for us, baby. You feel me? Big win. Let's do this.
And already predicting the win. I love the confidence, but I'm pretty sure that's the way he feels every night. Live coverage of the NBA here on 2K Sports. A happy Sunday evening to you and yours. From the booth, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Flash?
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic, he's really strong.
And Steve, he's earned a nickname that's familiar to anybody that's followed basketball, the microwave. There's no slow build-up with him. All he needs is one shot to go down, and it can set him off, turn him into a real scoring machine. He cooks with gas, not electricity.
Last game for the Pacers, a loss to the Spurs.
And that night, guys, they didn't resemble the team we're used to seeing, either as individuals or as a unit.
Steve, I thought there was really a lack of leadership. Nobody really gathered the team and tried to rally them. And sometimes you have to do that with your body language and your voice. To me, that was the most disappointing thing about the loss. Well, I tell you what, the Pacers did a lot of good things last year. Defended well, protected the rim and their home court. Really, the one area for improvement is probably the road record. They could get better in that area.
Now, here is Hill. Clock at 6. Here's Scola. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. And here are the Thunder now. It's a three-point game. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And if there was an aspect of the game that jumped out at me, guys, it was the rebound. There was a huge difference in the effort both teams were making on the glass.
Well, they got pushed around all game long, and when that happens, you're going to get out-rebounded.
Well, Clark, as you said, the Pacers didn't play as well as they had hoped to on the road for a team that won the division. They were 19-21 away from Indianapolis, and Steve, not the kind of record they wanted to end with.
No, but if you're around 500 then you can control your home court, you're going to have a good season. And that's exactly what Indiana did. They ended up with the third seed in the East, and all in all, a terrific year.
Here's Hill following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Hibbert with a screen for Hill. George. And he goes right over Serge Ibaka and slams it down.
You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing.
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
Guys, look, I don't know what the score is. That's the play we're all going to remember from this game. And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
On defense, Oklahoma City. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
Remember, they won both games against this club last season, which was, I think, one of the highlights of the year.
Now here's Hibbert. 11-point game his last outing. And there's Paul George on the assist from Roy Hibbert. George has got 5.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Left side, George. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Hill passes to Granger. A putback, and then Hibbert with the dunk.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Pure might, Clark. So strong going back up with that one.
That's exactly what he's capable of, guys. So strong.
Here's Grimes and Scola with the block.
Well, you know what? All good things must come to an end, and they finally miss after making their first 4.
That's good. Steve was talking about this moments ago about the sweep. Not easy to do, certainly, when you take out an opponent, one you know. And even if it's just a 2-game series like this one is, and it won't be any easier this year, I don't think, either, Clark.
No, it won't. I mean, we can be pretty certain, Kevin, that both of these teams are going to be battling for the top spot in their respective conferences. So the games between them will be hard-fought and tough.
Here is Hill after the made shot from Flash. Again, the miss by Granger.
The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Scott Brooks, and the conversation turned to how they plan to slow down Danny Granger. He said Danny's so tough because of his length, mobility, and shooting ability. You've got to play up and then try to surprise him with double teams. Make him a passer. Makes sense, Kevin. Back to you.
And thank you for that, Doris. And here is Hill, following the three from Flash. Hill dishes to George. Hill kicks to Granger. The kick out to Hill. George. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. That's now 8 points for Paul George.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively. You know, last season, George Hill, really for the first time, was handed the keys to the team as the starting point guard for the Pacers and played the most minutes of his career and responded with his best season yet.
And stolen by Granger. Outside Hill. Back to Granger. Puts it up from 7. Nice jump shot. Good. And going back to George Hill, great length and athleticism at the point guard position. Defensive-minded guy. He really fits with the hard-nosed identity of this team. What did you say, Steve?
Yeah, I love George Hill. Offensively, he shoots with range, and he's able to slash and draw fouls. Excellent rebounder for the point guard position. And you mentioned the length. I mean, the wingspan for Hill allows him to guard both ones and twos in the backcourt.
And here's George. Following the three from Cephalosha. The shot by George, no good. Deflects the pass. Here's Grimes. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Third three in a row right there.
Adjustment time for the defense, guys.
George. He's covered by Westbrook. Hill passes to George. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Well, among the centers and power forwards of the NBA, these are the players with the softest touch around the bucket. Some terrific shooting percentages for the big men. Serge Ibaka, third.
And you look at that list, most of the guys there have that unique combination of power and finesse. A very physical presence with an equally soft touch.
And that kind of combo blend is what can turn a good offensive big man into a great one, fellas.
Flash passes to Cephalosha. Flash. He feeds it to Westbrook. Pass to Flash. He kicks to Cephalosha. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Grimes. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
They're allowing a sky-high field goal percentage. That won't get it.
Not at all. They've been able to score with ease.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. And it's West in for Luis Scola. Here's Hill.
Well, they find themselves with a big deficit here in the first. One category that jumps out at me, second chance point. Only one bucket for them.
They couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's working, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Mahinmi down low, defended by Orton. And Stevenson's checked in for Danny Granger. It's stolen by Ibaka. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Taking a look back over the last month, Kevin, let's see how Indiana stacked up. Second. in rebounding, 9th in scoring, and they're a top 10 team in three-point shooting.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Clark. And what jumps out to me is the rebounding, because when you can rebound the basketball as a team, you can stay in every game. Even if you're not shooting the ball well, you rebound, you get extra possessions, and you allow your team the ability to make a comeback.
Shot clock at 5. George, that's a two-pointer. Indiana again missing.
Now, he thought he could knock that one down, but the defense was really all over him.
14 feet away, and he nails the jumper. And that's 18 points for Flash.
And Kevin, he's got such a great focus as a shooter. He's a very frustrating player to guard, because unless you actually block his shot, you are not going to get in his head and affect him.
And another thing that stands out about him, Steve, he has the ability to score even with defenders draped all over him. He's so strong around the goal.
Here's West after the made shot from Flash. Can they get it? And it's West missing. Here's Grimes. Oh, my goodness.
What a huge play. Huge advantage for them already.
And as well as they've played at both ends so far, this lead might continue to grow.
Here's Hill, averaging 13 points a contest. Dishes it to West. And it's good. West has got his first 2 points of the night. And here are the Thunder now. They're on a 19-7 run.
You know, so much has been said about the Oklahoma City home court advantage, and for good reason. I mean, you can feel it and hear it like a college atmosphere.
That's a good point. Here's Flash. He's coming off a 31-point game against New Orleans.
And no question, you look at his assist totals, I mean, they tell you what a nice job he was doing of really spreading that ball around.
Now here's West. It's a 14-point game. Clark, back to what you said. Not only can you hear it when they are here, you can literally feel it. The rumbling, Steve, when you first come out of the tunnel is amazing.
Well, the Thunder have a fantastic team, Kevin, and they've been good the last few years, but you don't go 34-7 at home like they did last season without a significant advantage coming from the crowd. And I think that's been the case here. The crowd is loud and active and fired up every single night.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Got that one up quick. And it's now 26 points for Flash.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Releases, and the rejection by Copeland. But he recovers it. That one goes. Count. And it's 20. Points for Flash.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
And the Thunder pushing it up now. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got assist number 5 here tonight. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and I've noticed also that their quick hands have led to a lot of forced turnovers. They're getting some points in transition as a result.
Here's Copeland, right now averaging 5 points a game. Gets it to go. There's a minute 40 left to play in the first. Passes it to Flash. Back to Westbrook, all alone. And there's another one for the Thunder.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve. One of the bright young head coaching stars in the league, Frank Vogel, took over the Pacers on an interim basis 3 seasons ago and immediately paid dividends. They had a strong finish to that season and his first season in a competitive first-round series against Chicago. And That success has continued to build and grow, and Frank Vogel deserves a lot of the credit.
Some changes for Indiana. Hill, he's checked in for Mahini. Orlando Johnson comes in for Lance Stevenson. And it's Watson in for George Hill. We've got 1:08 left in the first quarter of the game. 2 on the clock. Watson for 3. No good. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And Coach Vogel, the second youngest coach in the NBA last season, but he'd been working in the NBA for 15 years, Steve, prior to that, prior to becoming a head coach.
Yeah, 5 years as a video coordinator, a couple seasons as an advanced scout, and then 8 years on the bench as an assistant. So he's definitely paid his dues and learned a lot on his way up the ladder.
Here is Watson. It's back to Hill. The dish now to West. Indiana moving the ball around. Watson with it. Shot clock at 6. Fires the 3. No luck. Cephalosha with it. And the Thunder another 3.
And if their last 5 makes, all have been from long range.
Yeah, and the defense has not done a good job of pressing in and denying. I mean, they're hanging back, playing on their heels. They're not being the aggressors here, and the offense is taking advantage of it.
Here's Flash. He has 35. Lets it go with the 3. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And the buzzer sounds to end the first, and we've got a blowout underway here. Oklahoma City out in front, running a...
The newest 2K style magazine arriving in stores now. Flash appearing on the front cover. An NBA idol.
And the Thunder with the possession here. Grimes, he's in at point guard. Daniel Orton is out there with Ibaka. Then there's Perry Jones. And it's Westbrook in at the 2 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Here's Hill. And good on the basket. Booking. Hill's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Well, George Hill, one of those unique stories, playing with his hometown Indiana Pacers. He's a native of Indianapolis and Broad Ripple High School. Was drafted by the Spurs, played in their system for 3 years out in San Antonio, and was acquired by the Pacers in a draft day trade back in 2011, and it's worked out well for both teams.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, guys, Flash in the last outing against the Pelicans got the job done. He finished with 31 points and did his work from a pair of lines, hitting from both beyond the arc and from the charity stripe. Truly impressive numbers from him in a stellar performance. What a special night.
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified, Clark.
Well, I know this opponent should be terrified because there's a good chance the momentum he gathered that night carries right over into this game.
Well, some of it will carry over. That's inevitable. It's just a matter of how much.
And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. While we got a moment, let's now show you the teams that have led the NBA in blocks during the past month. The Thunder in 4th.
You know, shot blocking can sometimes be like a spark plug or an energy injection for the defense. Their home crowd really gets into it when they throw those shots out of there.
Hill kicks it to West. It's back to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Hill's got 9 points. The Thunder leading by 20. 1:05 left in the first half of the game. The shot's good from Westbrook.
Very well done. He is a confident, dynamic scorer.
Hill dishes to Hill. The feed to West. Lets it go from 14. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Boy, he's got a real comfort level with the mid-range game. I mean, he's got the ability not to let the defense bother him when he's locked into that shooting zone.
Boy, he launched that one from way outside. Flash has got 40 points.
And he does it again. What can you say? the defense continues to allow him to get open out there. They've got to know that he can knock down that shot. Put somebody on him.
Hill passes to Stevenson. And Westbrook pulls it down.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Flash. From the arc. Offensive rebound. Ibaka. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
We knew what was going to happen with that one when he got his hands on it.
Yeah, you know, if the ball comes to him off the offensive boards, Clark, it's going to go back down hard.
It's amazing how many points he salvages for his team. I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's time for the Sunday night halftime report. The Thunder have the lead out in Oklahoma City against
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here. On the court right now for the Pacers. George Hill at the 1, Paul George at the 2, Granger and West at the forward 6, and it's Scola in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Well, Indiana's success last season was built around its defensive prowess, and they usually would set the tone at the start of the game. They were one of the best in the league at allowing the fewest first quarter points.
Thunder have gotten 6 of their 7 shots to go down in this quarter. What a fantastic start to the half. Here's Grimes. Right through the...
What a shot!
For the layup. Flash has got 42 in the game.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
Going back to the Pacers once more, you knew they wanted to emphasize defense each game, and Steve, they would always come out and get right in the offensive player's face to start the game.
And they allowed the fewest first quarter points of any team in the league last year, Kevin. That's a great way to kind of set the tempo, set the tone in a ball game. And the Pacers were able to establish that defense right away.
He's got great length for a point guard, and it served him well on that play.
And Indiana making a change here. Hibbert's checked in.
You know, free throw shooting is always critical in terms of outcomes of games, and the Thunder last year often had an advantage at the line. Not only did they get there at a high rate, they made their free throws at a high rate as well.
Granger misses.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense.
Oklahoma City moving it around. Here's Flash. He has 45 points. Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession. Best shooting team at the free throw line last season by a good margin. Clark, you're right. The Thunder shot 83% as a team. Very nice percentage for any player, much less an entire team, Steve, and actually the third best for a team in league history.
And as we talked about earlier, Kevin, it wasn't just the makes, it was the attempts. I mean, this is a club that can slash and attack the basket. They finished second in the NBA in free throw attempts. So what a combination to be able to get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and then convert.
Hill kicks to George. Hibbert with a screen for George. Granger, he dishes it to West. From outside the arc, Granger misses.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I thought so too, Clark.
Orlando Johnson's checked in for the Pacers. On the wing, Jones. Now the pass to Flash. It's stolen by Hill. Fast break. Here comes Indiana.
Hammer time. Yes, sir. Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Back to Jones. Pass to Flash. 6 to shoot. Drain for 2 points. Flash has got 9 points in the quarter.
Guys, it's a one-man show out there. I mean, he looks like he's willing to handle all of the offensive duties for his team.
And West backs in. The jump hook, and that one's good. Here's Flash. What an incredible scoring display he has put on tonight. Feeds to Cephalosha from past the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that shot.
Hill drives in. Kicks to Hibbert. It's back to Hill. And again, it's Indiana converting.
They've raised their field goal percentage just above 50% here. They actually look like a totally different team than what we saw in the first half. Much better execution offensively.
He feeds it to Cephalosha. And the Thunder, another three.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Indiana's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And now a look at Roy Hibbert. Some stats on him. Last 10 games for him have been very nice. 17th in field goal percentage. And in terms of rebounding, he's in the top 20 in the league. So a guy who can really take care of the boards for you.
And he's top 20 in the league as well in field goal percentage. And as you said, he's had very little trouble knocking down any good shots.
Hill drives in. And Roy Hibbert, the bucket on the assist by Hill. Hill's got his 5th assist in this one.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Here's Grimes, and he uses the glass on the layup. Flash has got 53.
And he's performing at such a high level. That's why they're in the lead right now.
West setting the pick for Hill. Pass to George. It's back to Hill. Shoots the 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Jones has got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
Well, you knew he was going to be a project. I think you can chalk up last season as just part of his development. But Perry Jones is going to have a long career in the NBA. He's going to continue to get better. He's got a lot of talent trying to work his way into the regular rotation. A good job of spotting his teammate near the basket and zipping the pass right in there.
And the basket by Collison. Collison's got his first bucket of the night.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
And for Jones, it's hard for players with his frame, Clark, to come in and immediately make an impact in the NBA, and it could be a few seasons before he becomes a major factor.
And fortunately for him, and to his credit, Kevin, he seems to know that and embrace it. That's a big deal for a young player. A lot of times young players want to play right away, want to accelerate and get out there before they're ready. There's a lot to learn about being productive in the NBA, and to his credit, he understands it's a process.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Gentlemen, Paul George was the number 10 pick back in 2010. He's exceeded expectations and has now become a cornerstone player for the Pacers at both ends. George said, quote, "When I step on the floor, I feel like I'm the best player out there. Whether it's LeBron or Carmelo, defensively, I'm good enough to force turnovers and bring him to reality. Offensively, I want that pressure to be the go-to guy." Kevin, a lot of confidence, but he's got the talent to deliver on that ambition.
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's still rounding out his game. He has all the physical tools you could want, but it's just a matter of continuing to put in the work.
Clock at 4. Granger, covered by Cephalosha. Granger misses.
Boy, they've really dominated on the glass, and of course they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
C.J. Watson, he's checked in for the Pacers. Here's Grimes. Off the left rim and out.
Can't get a much better look than that, though.
Sure can't. Not one you'd expect him to miss there.
Stevenson dishes to Watson. Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by Orton. Orton's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Grimes. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Woo-hoo-hoo, Kevin. They're firing on all cylinders. That shot caps a nice run going into the final quarter.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's the Thunder running away with it.
Come out and join the crowd. Watch your Thunder live and in person. Flash, a terrific starring attraction, not to be missed. So get your tickets now.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Thunder.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
Grimes, he's in at the point. Ryan Gomes is out there with Adams. Then it's Jeremy Lamb. And it's Roberson in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Hill kicks to Stevenson. He passes to Watson. Indiana moving the ball around. Copeland. And the 3 ball is good.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but, one thing that really stands out is the quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
And I know he's a fan favorite because he can catch fire immediately at any point in the ball game and just start pouring it in from all over the place.
Watson kicks to Copeland. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone right now. The Thunder shooting so well, the offensive execution has been brilliant. 66% from the field. The shot's good from Flash. Flash has got 4 points this quarter.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Watson, the pass to Mahinmi. Orlando Johnson's checked in for Lance Stevenson.
Orlando Johnson.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th. The 19-foot shot, and it's blocked by Adams. And Gomes kicks to Roberson. Flash. And the Thunder, another 3.
They are killing them with that 3-point shot here in the second half.
Well, the defense fully stretched out trying to stop that shot and still not able to get it done.
Ball's knocked loose. Here's Copeland, defended by Roberson. Copeland can't hit. Thunder have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Here's Grimes, and again it's Oklahoma City.
No misses for him yet in this quarter. Solid as a rock.
Oh, trying for it. Hill dishes to Watson. He kicks to Mahinmi, passes it to Johnson. And there's the feed to Copeland. Back to Johnson. 5 on the clock. The jumper from the free throw line is good. The Thunder have gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. Roberson, the pass to Flash. Dishes it to Lamb. To the middle. Roberson. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
It was certainly a slow start to the season for the Pacers. Their veteran and leading scorer, Danny Granger, was on the shelf with a knee injury, but somehow this team found its identity around defense and the emergence of some younger players that may serve them well going forward. You get Danny Granger back with the young, emerging talent, this team should contend for a while.
And Copeland kicks to Johnson. On the wing, Hill. Back to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Watson. looking to get it going, and that's 2 points on the layup. And Granger was able to come back for them for a stretch during the regular season, but eventually had to once again miss the rest of the games. But the team had grown to where, that probably didn't derail them, as it might have, Steve, in the past.
Well, the big thing with the Pacers, Kevin, is that they have a lot of depth now across the roster. And with the emergence of Paul George, who kind of took Granger's spot, they were able to move on pretty well without him.
Knocks it loose. The pass to Roberson. Here's Flash. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
And Clark, they've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, I think so. Too cool. I mean, just not forceful enough, not alert or aggressive enough, and sometimes trying to do too much with the basketball.
Sometimes you just got to make the easy pass. Somebody's open, throw it to them. When you do that multiple times, the game starts to find a flow to itself.
The dish to Gomes. Pass to Adams. Throws it up high. Johnson outside. He dishes it to Watson. Thunder with the rebound. Roberson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Grimes. And that one's good.
Well, he continues to light it up. He's the leading scorer in this game, guys.
The Pacers have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting at even 50% from the field. Watson gets a screen from Hill. Watson dishes to Hill. Feeds it to Mahinmi. Clock at 6. Kicks it to Watson. Here is Gomes. He's guarded by Hill. Roberson gets the bucket.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Here's Grimes, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back, straight to the rack.
And here's Watson. Makes the lead pass. The shot by Mahinmi, no good.
Their offense seems completely out of sync here. They're on the wrong end of a big run.
And then at the other end, it's been bucket after bucket after bucket, giving up a huge run here.
Oh, man, they are just putting the hammer down right now.
Defensively and offensively, it has all been working for them today.
And the Thunder pushing it up now.
You have got to be kidding me.
Clark, talk about taking... things in your own hands.
You get an assist and a field goal for that? I mean, that was ridiculous.
Now Watson. He feeds it to Copeland. On the wing, Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. Here's the lob to the hoop.
Great job capitalizing on that steal. Getting the easy points in transition.
Exactly how it should be done after a turnover.
Watson with it. Now guarded by Flash. Watson gets a screen from Hill. Hill left side. Hill left side. Mahinmi passes to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock to end the drought. And he hits the jump shot. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Derek Fisher's checked in for Jeremy Lamb. Here's Flash. He's covered by Watson. And Roberson kicks to Adams. A beautiful reverse layup.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks. Can you believe that dunk? I mean, that was first class right there.
I'm not sure I can believe that.
I don't know how he was able to execute the reverse in such tight quarters. Incredible.
Watson's shot is good. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Gomes passes to Flash. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. He passes it to Gomes. Hits it from three-point range.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Watson, that's for 2, but he gets it back. Tries again. Gets it to go. Watson's got 6 in the quarter. Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Passes to Flash. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Man, he's got a lot of firepower right now. I mean, what a half he's having. Put together a great team, fans can get a little wild. When you put together a great team that's exciting to watch too, then they really get wild. And that's what you have to deal with when you go to Oklahoma City. A great team with terrific fans.
Perry Jones, he's checked in for Ryan Gomes. Watson with it. Another steal. Here's Grimes. And some very quick points for him on that possession. And back to these great fans in Oklahoma City. They hosted the Hornets for 1 season in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you recall. And Steve really showed what a great crowd they could be for a team.
Kevin, I agree. And I think that season when they hosted the Hornets, I think that showed the league that Oklahoma City was ready to become a franchise. And that's why the move from Seattle to Oklahoma City was allowed by the league, because the city had proven that they would support the club.
Back to Jones. The pass to Flash. Pass to Roberson. Here's Flash. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good from Fisher.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams in their effectiveness from the three-point line.
And you really notice it at that end of the floor where they continue to get open looks and knock them down.
Watson. Excellent D that time from Flash. Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Jones with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. The shot's good from Flash. The Pacers have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Watson with it, now guarded by Flash. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's slammed in by Jones.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak, of what's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve.
Here is Watson. He kicks it to Mahimi. Now the feed to Copeland to end the run. Gets it to go. Copeland's got 7 points here in this quarter. The Thunder shooting has been just uncontainable. 72%. Flash passes to Jones. Flash, he's covered by Watson. Here's Flash. Pulls it from the elbow. Shot is off. Excellent D that time.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
Watson dishes to Mahimi. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
They got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Knocked away. Here's Flash. Lets it fly. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Well, this is going to seal the deal. They've really exploded here to the finish line.
You know, once they sniffed out that blood in the water, the killer instinct.
It's got to be a great feeling setting the team record for points tonight. How does it feel to achieve such an accomplishment?
It's something to be proud of for sure. To be up there at the top of the list of some pretty impressive players that have been here before me is a great honor. I never really thought of myself as being in that class. Now I just hope I can stay hot and turn that into some wins for this team.
You hear that, boys? Listen to that.
It's a Western Conference matchup as the Los Angeles Lakers come into town in this game. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, this is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg welcoming you to NBA basketball on 2K Sports. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Serge Ibaka in this one?
Well, it didn't take long for Serge Ibaka to establish himself as one of the best shot blockers in the league. He has impeccable timing, and he's so athletic and tall with long arms, so he's really able to bother offensive players.
Ibaka just gives you everything you want out of a hustle player. I mean, he plays tough, in-your-face D, and on offense, he's got no problem banging down low for extra possessions or put-back dunks, and he's becoming a little more polished in his face-up game.
Thrilled to be back in Oklahoma City. The Thunder ready for that home court advantage. Well, they're entering a bit of a soft spot in their schedule, facing off guys against some of the lower-ranked teams in the league, and we'll see if they're able to take advantage and have their win total.
Kevin, you know what? They're already playing extremely well, playing great basketball, as a matter of fact. And it's simply a matter of them continuing to do that and not playing down to their opponents. And I think they'll do well.
I'd be shocked if they didn't play well, Clark, because looking at this schedule, looking at the way this team has played, the talent on the roster, they should get on a hot streak coming up.
Well, you could see it at the start of the season that Oklahoma City was being driven by falling short in the 2012 finals. Their focus was on being the best team in the West, and they jumped on that goal right from the start.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
On defense, Oklahoma City. It's a 5-point game. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
The shot's good from Flash. And for the Thunder, the second best regular season record in the league last season, Steve, at 60-22.
Well, and they had the best point differential in the league, Kevin, which I think is probably the best barometer in terms of how well you're playing. But clearly the Westbrook injury in the first round of the playoffs against Houston just completely took the wind out of their sails. And I would look for Oklahoma City to be back this year with everybody healthy. They'll have a chip on their shoulders. They want to get back to the finals this year.
Here's Westbrook following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Flash guarded by Jackson. Here's Grimes, and there's another one for the Thunder. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin. Earlier I spoke with Mike D'Antoni. I asked him what he thought would be the key for them, and he told me dealing with the penetration of Russell Westbrook. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the game. We've got to send him to help and rotate early to deny him finishes at the rim. Guys, that's never easy.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Flash after Pau Gasol's bucket.
His switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys. It's one thing to intimidate with your play, and it's another to get in the face of a player's shot you just blocked. Last season, Ibaka took it to that next level and ruffled some feathers by doing just that. Good display of physicality by Gasol to set that shot up.
The Thunder leading by 3. Westbrook passes to Flash. Feeds it to Cephalosha. Pass to Flash. The dish to Westbrook. Pocket 6. Pass to Flash. Again, Oklahoma City. And speaking of Bob getting feisty, I remember seeing him get into it. In fact, with Coach Brooks when he was subbed out of a game, there was that flagrant foul against Blake Griffin. He's got a fuse.
Well, he's showing a little bit of a hot-headed streak, Kevin. I like that. A little feistiness. You like that from your big men. You want them to be tough.
Showing emotion.
Exactly.
Passion.
As long as you control the emotion.
Well said, Steve. Lakers on D after the made shot from Flash.
They're in the position they're in right now thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Kobe kicks to Nash. Poked away. Dishes to Gasol. Lets a floater go. Shoots over Adams. Fader on the way. Again, the miss by Gasol.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release. They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Here's Kobe after the made shot from Flash. Outside Gasol. Back to Kobe. Outside Jackson. Puts up a 3. Good. Jackson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Flash passes to Ibaka. To the inside. Oklahoma City moving it around. The pass to Flash. The kick out to Westbrook. Launches a 3. Good.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
He dishes it to Kaman. Back to Nash. On the wing, Kobe. Here's Flash, defended by Nash. Offensive rebound. Cephalosha passes to Flash. Goes back up. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Flash has got 19 points.
Their offense has really come together immediately, threatening to run away with this game.
It's hard to imagine they'll be able to stay as hot as they've been so far, but if they can, watch out.
Oklahoma City on D. They lead by 11. Kaman dishes to Kobe. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Cephalosha. Here's Grimes. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. 21 points in the game.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Kobe gets a screen from Kaman. He used that pick to get in close. That's now 8 points for Kobe Bryant.
Little touch of class there, guys. He ended that play with the finger roll.
Here's Flash, guarded by Kobe. Cephalosha. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Now, here's Nash. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And that one's good.
Well, his scoring this quarter has been off the charts. And the complexion of the game as a result may change.
Westbrook gets to Adams. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Adams has got his second basket of the game.
Ran his man straight into that screen to open the lane up for the hoop.
Looking at Los Angeles, they took the win in their last game against the Suns.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
Oklahoma City leading by 12. Nash comes with the double team for 3, and that one's good. Westbrook's got 6 points.
They're really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
And they've been on fire offensively as a result, Clark.
Nash kicks to Kaman. Pass to Gasol. Working on Ibaka. The jump hook. Serge Ibaka with the rebound.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Flash passes to Adams. Flash battles through traffic and lays it in. Flash has got 23.
I'll tell you what I love about him. His ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong. Even with defenders hanging all over him, he continues to finish at the basket.
And Steve, you know, his ability to come in and rattle off 10, 20 points in no time flat, that's a gift and a real asset for any team. Some guys need a while to get going, not him.
Now here's Kobe. He's tightly guarded. Pulls up. High post. A nice shot by Nash. Nash has got his first bucket in this one.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off. Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
And here's Kobe after the three-pointer from Flash. 6 to shoot. Kobe kicks to Jackson. No good on the 3. The Thunder leading by 18. Here's Flash. He had 31 points in the win against Memphis.
Chipped in with a couple of blocks, too. So just giving you a hint of his potential impact at the defensive end.
Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Flash has got 28. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I mean, I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play. Really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small, a team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, an older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition.
Right, yes.
You had a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
It's a good assessment. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break moves, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
From deep three-point range, and again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And that's what's built in this early lead. Deadly shooting from behind the arc.
Yeah, the D better start getting out there on them, Steve, and soon.
Here's Farmar, right now averaging 5 points a game. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Now you can tell what the crowd thinks about that call.
Yeah, they erupted as soon as the whistle blew.
Passes it to Flash. Fires the three. The shot's good. Cutlason making the play. That's 36 points for Flash.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Farmar dishes to Young. From deep. Again, Young missing. Here's Cephalosha from downtown. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Here's Johnson. Makes it off the glass. And here's Westbrook. A 26-point game for him in the win against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Here's Flash. Up in time. And it's wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Oh, miracle heave to finish off the quarter. How did he get that to go down?
A nice release and some good concentration as well, but the biggest thing about that, a whole lot of luck.
And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. Oklahoma City out in front, running away with it. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Come out and join the crowd. Watch your Thunder live and in person. Flash, a terrific starring attraction, not to be missed. So get your tickets now. Come fly with us.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
And the key has been the second chance points. You look at this team, the hustle that they play with, very impressive in that first quarter.
Well, it's showing up on the scoreboard. I mean, you get second chance.
He kicks to Jackson. He passes to Flash. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top. Lakers still pursuing another title, but it would be a real shock if that were to come this year. A lot of age and injury on this team. They lose Dwight Howard. This is a club that just doesn't have enough athleticism and speed to contend for a title.
Well, back to the Lakers. Clark, you think they're too old? Is this a team that needs to rebuild?
Not yet, Kevin. The saying is, young doesn't win in the NBA. I think for them, health and chemistry are the most important factors. Also, I think this is a franchise that has shown it can make a home run deal, like acquiring Pau Gasol in 2007, got 2 titles out of that move. I think they'll look to add some youth through their bench and restructure the personnel a bit, and they'll position themselves for another run, perhaps.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, Russell Westbrook is one of the most fiery competitors in the NBA. Teammate Kendrick Perkins said, he's night and day how he is off the court. He gets in his zone, and he just feels like he's the best player on the court. Westbrook said, I don't mind playing angry. I play angry a lot. Guys, with his size and athleticism, that's a scary thought.
Infectious enthusiasm, Doris. You see it every time he steps on the floor. Gasol with the steal. Kobe against Ibaka. Kobe attacking. On the wing, Steven Jackson. Off target from outside.
Boy, they've really dominated on the glass, and of course they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Roberson the pass to Flash. The feed to Jackson. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Shots good by Ibaka.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Mark, just piling up points in the paint.
Outside, Kobe kicks to Nash. Outside, Jackson from past the arc. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got 5 assists in the game.
Shooting lots more threes here in the second.
I'm not sure if that's going to work real well here. They probably are better off getting something inside.
And you know, guys, Nash's workout regimen is the stuff of legends. At his age, he's in as good a condition as most second or third year players in the league. Still highly productive at 39 years old.
And Nash gets double teamed. Swiped away. Here's Grimes. Los Angeles is gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. Kobe kicks to Jackson. He feeds it to Nash. Banked in off the glass. Nash has got his second basket of the night. And going back to Nash in his great condition, you watch it firsthand, Steve, and you have to wonder just how long, even with all those great techniques of getting his body ready to go, how long he's going to be able to play.
Well, last season, remember, he broke the bone in his leg that set him back. In fact, he missed most games he missed in 14 years. Normally been very durable. So, you know, Father Time, as they say, is undefeated, Kevin, and it's catching up with him.
What a terrific feed by Nash.
1:22 left now here in the second. Feeds it to Jackson. Has to flash.
Oh, no. Not the guy you want to put on the line, Kevin. He's an ATM from the free throw line. You know, with so many high hopes, the Thunder seem to be everybody's pick to make it to the finals once again. They were so dominant throughout the regular season. Many thought it was a foregone conclusion, but the injury to Russell Westbrook kind of sidetracked all of that.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Kaman. And it's Hill in for Pau Gasol. Nash dishes to Kobe. His three-pointer's off the mark. And back to the Thunder in the postseason. They did well to get by the Rockets after Westbrook injured his knee. But, Steve, they just didn't have the same dynamic punch when they later faced the Grizzlies. Ended up getting bounced out in the second round.
Well, it was a tough matchup for them because the Grizzlies are so good defensively. And when you take Westbrook out of the lineup, all of a sudden it changes everything. I thought Oklahoma City battled, but they just didn't have enough firepower without their point guard.
The dish to Nash. Young outside. Now the pass to Hill. Outside, Kobe. Dishes it to Young. Pass to Sacre. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From 8 feet away, he drops it in.
Got himself into really good position there. Can't pass that shot up, guys.
Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 14-6 run. Cephalosha passes to Flash. He dishes it to Cephalosha. Outside Westbrook. Takes the lead pass. Passes it to Flash. Good if it goes.
How about the killer instinct on display there?
Wow.
Fantastic.
He didn't even flinch, just buried it like it was any other shot. Unbelievable.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. It's the Thunder just dominating this one. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Let's get into the first half break.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter.